I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
We're two mamas who love inspiring healthy living.
After facing family health challenges and seeing how natural solutions transformed our lives, we are determined to help other mamas thrive, not just survive.
What if feeling awesome every day is possible for you and your family?
Come along with us on our natural journey.
Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
Welcome to our podcast,
Helping Mamas Thrive.
Today's topic, pitfalls on the healing journey.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We did it.
It's so astounding. It's so great. No, I'm super excited about this because I do feel like when people, and especially people have finally gotten to the desire to heal naturally and believe that their body can heal naturally, like they get there. But when people arrive there, usually they've gone the other route. And now they're really in a bad spot. So already it takes some time.
I think that's like the biggest obstacle is people think they have a problem, and whatever modality you pick, it's going to have overnight success. Some do. Sometimes it does. It depends on what it is.
That's true.
But you didn't get there overnight. And so sometimes it takes a while. And depending on what healing modality you're working on, you peel the layers back, and then you might feel worse. You might feel worse for a little bit while things are dying off, or
Absolutely.
It depends. And that's why I really like muscle testing, because your body is indicating what it wants to work on first.
Right.
So you're not going to be debilitated. Like some of those cleanses and protocols.
Right.
That's why I don't like them really. And people ask me my opinion about this all the time. And I'm like, well, they're good products, but you don't know how your body's going to react to it.
Right.
And that's why I love muscle testing, because you ask the body and the body tells you.
Right. I was surprised when I was several years into my healing journey, and then I got candida, like so bad. And I was like, what the heck? I've been on this road and I've changed my diet. I've done all the things. But what I didn't realize was that my whole life I had had antibiotics, and those stay in your system for a very long time. And then my body finally got to the point where it was like, all right, we're ready to dump all this stuff. And it caused an overgrowth of yeast in my system. And I had candida, and it was horrible. It was really bad, but it took time to heal that. But it was a surprise. So we're going to talk about some of those top things that happen. The pitfalls that people fall into. And some of them are really easy. Like you go on vacation, you overindulge. I mean, some of those pitfalls are kind of everyday, but we're going to talk about some things that people might not think are a pitfall. Like they'll do something and be like, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, let's talk about vacation since you brought it up.
Okay.
Because
perfect.
A lot of times people go on vacation and they throw all caution to the wind. They just eat whatever they want because
they deserve it, right? They work so hard.
Oh my gosh.
So hard.
So let's just talk about leading up to the vacation. There's a lot of stress.
That's true.
So stress is burning through your minerals. So you could be already, at a deficit when you get to wherever you're going. Then maybe you're drinking less water. You're eating foods that may not be healthy. And then you get home and you tank. Yeah. And people say, oh, I got something on the plane. I hear that a lot. I'm like, maybe you got exposed to it, but you went through all your good stuff in your body. Right. You had a lot of sugar. People drink a lot.
Oh, yeah. True.
The alcohol, the beer, the wine, it has a lot of sugar. So that suppresses your immune system, right? So that and eating bad food, right? It all contributes to sickness. So vacations, they don't have to be pitfalls. Like you can still kind of watch what you eat and still have a good time. Right. Like I love food, right? It's fun, especially you want to experience the food of where you're going. Right. You can still do that and eat some healthy meals. Maybe breakfast and lunch is more controlled, and then dinner, whatever meal you like. or maybe don't drink at the pool, or, you know, there's there's so many choices.
Absolutely.
But it is a choice
Mm-hmm.
of
That's
like,
right.
you know, how do I want to feel after vacation? So like
Yes.
a lot of people want to indulge on their vacation,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you want to feel after your vacation? And so that is, to me, this is like one of the number one pitfalls.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Or even there are people that it kind of flops, like there's so much adrenaline and getting ready and everything, then they finally get on vacation and then they finally relax a little bit, and then that's when everything dumps into their system, and so they get sick on vacation. So
very, very true. And that's even worse.
mm-hmm.
That's when preparation's so important.
Yes.
Actually, we have a summer travel class, which I don't know the date off the top of my head.
Yes.
But we will talk about how to pre-plan.
That's right.
For your vacation. You want to have those tools.
Yeah.
So when you have some of these experiences,
right.
Just like, so last year when Julie and I went to the Convention for Young Living, I did this light therapy.
Oh, yes.
And the first year we did it, I was completely relaxed, which is the result you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, while I was doing it, I don't know why I didn't get up. I felt very trapped.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pain in my back,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't say help or take it off, which I don't know why. And after that 10 minutes, also my eyes, it was so bright for my eyes. It was miserable for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, afterwards, my body, I got a fever.
Mm-hmm.
My face was red.
Yep.
And basically it stirred up my parasites.
Right.
And everybody was muscle testing me. And thank goodness I travel. I needed extra minerals. I took extra Ninja, extra Cardio Miracle, extra Para 3. I had a lot of the things I needed.
Yeah.
As like my little travel toolkit. Thank goodness. And I was fine by the next day.
Everyone should travel with Robin because she has all of the stuff. It really is an art. I have to say, it really is an art, because you go and you have your things, and that I think is really important to have the stuff that you're used to, so your body does not revolt. I'm like, oh my gosh. But you are very good about packing. Now you've modified and you don't pack 20 glass bottles anymore.
Well, you know, and sometimes I have to give Julie stuff because my suitcase is overweight. But
I gladly do it because she has so many of the things that, you know, everyone should have a Robin packed, you know, suitcase, a wellness suitcase.
Yeah. And you know what? We talked about food for the vacation, but we didn't talk about toxins.
Oh, yeah.
So toxins also affect your body.
Right.
And so, you know, I always prepare. Like I'm always bringing my Thieves spray, a travel diffuser, definitely Thieves, things to help your toxic load, because that also affects how your body takes things, right?
Yep.
And pitfalls.
Yep.
So,
okay.
Anyway, if you're intrigued by this, please come to
Summer
travel
in June. Look on our website for the class list.
Yes. All right. So what's another pitfall?
Do you want to talk about dentists?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with that? Well, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's just some things that can happen when you're at the dentist.
And there's different kinds of dentists. So, you know,
oh, true.
There's a holistic dentist, and they tend to be more expensive, but they have a different mindset. Right. You know, they're the ones that are not doing the root canals and some of the unsafe procedures. And then there's the traditional dentists, right? So you can ask for no fluoride in those traditional dentists, but that could be a pitfall too. You go to the dentist and they tell you to take fluoride and you do, and then all of a sudden you have a headache or something.
Yeah.
They always are wanting to put, in my kids' dentist, they go to the traditional one, those sealants.
The sealants.
And I'm like, what is with the sealant? And so I found out, I looked it up.
Yeah.
But then when it's heated, it creates petroleum or something.
Wow.
It was either petroleum or formaldehyde. I can't remember. Something I don't want in their mouth.
Exactly.
I was like, when it's heated up, like your teeth get heated up all the time.
Why don't we just, you know, have our kids eat healthy and have good dental hygiene and
I mean, they are like,
seal their teeth.
I don't know if this happens to you guys, but this they called, like, not, they didn't just recommend it when she went to the dentist. Then they called and said, this was recommended. Would you like to do it? Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. And the fluoride thing is really crazy. If you're with a traditional dentist, they might intimidate you a little bit and just be like, no, don't let that happen. Just be like, no, thank you.
There are actually articles. So if you're not on the fluoride train yet, you know, there are articles about fluoride and how it's a neurotoxin and how that dental health improves even without fluoride. And there you can find all those articles online. So other things that happen is people get convinced to have root canals all the time. Lots of my clients.
Oh yeah.
They're and some end up getting their tooth pulled because they know, but it's dead tissue. And people get scared because the dentists really pressure them. Yeah. But there are options out there.
There
are. And you know what I really like for the mouth is thieves. Has clove in it. It's really good for your mouth. So thieves mouthwash. So like some of my clients have gingivitis or like go for cleaning. I'm like, use your thieves mouthwash. Canker sores, thieves essential oil is amazing for.
And you've even preemptively done things when you went to go get some of your mercury fillings, you know, taken out. And so you preemptively put on, because your jaw has to be open a long time. So some oils you used for that.
I used I used Valor and Aroma Seas and Panaway on my jawline, but I also think those had me methylate the anesthesia quicker.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
Yeah. And then because it hurt your mouth hurts. And then I took oils for stress too, because I was nervous. You know, I was doing a lot of oiling. Yeah, for sure. But you want to make sure things are safe, you know. Right. And also if you have gingivitis or what is it, periodontal disease, and they'll try to give you an antibiotic when they do your cleaning.
Oh, yes.
So you can opt to not have that. You can say, how painful is it going to be? Actually, I think there's even a shot for pain, maybe depending on the dentist. Yeah. And then they will give you an antibiotic. So, you know, you can talk about it with the hygienist and see. And then, you know, there's essential oils, like if they stir up the bacteria, you can do the thieves. Right. There's other antibacterial essential oils that you could put on your face. We could muscle test you. Yeah. That's another thing I did before I got my amalgams out, which are mercury fillings. I did muscle testing to see how to chelate, to what my body needed to get rid of the toxins.
That's really good.
Because when you're working with heavy metals, you definitely don't want them to stay in your body. Right. Right. You need to get them out of your body. Exactly. I mean, I drank cilantro water. That was nasty.
Wow. You did a lot of things, but if you're not privy to some of these things, if you are getting dental work done, you know, contact us. And you know,
I felt very good about that, having a program before and after. Right. Because you just, you know, you're in pain a little bit, you're scared. You want to make sure that your dentist is SMART certified if you're getting the mercury fillings taken out, because you want to have the dental dam, and they basically look like an astronaut.
Yep. And I even have one take a picture of me, because it was just like,
so. Oh, you did?
Yeah. It was so wild. And he was right on board. I mean, he's a holistic dentist. You know, he's like, oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it looks really trippy. I'm like, I didn't realize that my mouth could be stretched open that much.
Oh, yeah. It's like that game.
That's all you see.
It's that game with the plastic thing that I hate.
The game with the plastic thing?
Yeah, where they put the plastic thing in the mouth and you're.
Oh, yeah. I hate that too. And it hurts like so bad. Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's good. Let's move. Oh, fluoride. Yeah. Decreases IQ, irritates your endocrine system. Yeah. And can crash the thyroid.
Yeah. Gotta research that fluoride thing.
Really do.
It's really important to know about that.
All right. So let's move on from the dentist.
Okay. So, what next?
We talked about vacation.
Yeah, we did. Planes, all those kind of things, change in altitude, all that kind of stuff with vacation. Food choices. Yeah. We covered all that: sugar, alcohol, sleep. Oh, we didn't talk about sleep that much, but
Or water.
Or water. Yeah. So definitely when you're on vacation, especially if you go to like a cooler climate, you might not notice as much that you're not drinking, as much water. So just be cognizant, you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces every day.
I mean, flying makes you dehydrated.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Plus the radiation. But I mean, it is hard to drink enough water.
It is.
So usually I travel with like one of these things.
Yeah.
And then I buy
water
water.
bottle. She has a stainless steel. I travel with my
She travels with her glass.
makeshift bottle, and the TSA people always laugh.
Mhm.
They're like, okay, is that empty? And they're just looking at me like, you are a lush. Oh, this is a really cool one, especially because it's your favorite planetary, what do you call it? It's the moon. The moon. It's a planetary object.
Sure.
So full moons and new moons. And I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know. I mean, I knew what the function of the moon did, but it does, but I didn't realize how much it could have an effect on my system. Like, I don't know. I didn't know about any of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
so tell
Well,
us
if you have
about
if you have parasites,
Mm,
it really affects it. Because we are made of water, the parasites are made out of water. The energy changes, just like how the ocean is affected by the full moon. So
Mhm.
are we.
mhm.
And so just like ER doctors and teachers will say, oh, it was crazy in the full
Oh,
moon.
right. Yes. Yeah.
It's because people's parasites are going crazy. Your parasites make you crave sugar, and then you eat the sugar, and then it feeds the parasites, and the parasites go more cuckoo. So, any kind of digestive issue like gas,
Mhm.
nausea, bloating, diarrhea,
Mhm.
even something like teeth grinding can indicate you have parasites.
Wow.
Or headaches.
Mm.
Remember, I was on
Oh, yes.
vacation. I was at a hotel for one night with my daughter, and I used to get headaches like 3 weeks out of the month, so I don't get them that often. And I got this really bad headache. I was like, what is happening?
Mm.
And I realized it was a full moon. But I had Para 3 with me because I never leave home without it.
And Para 3 is a supplement. It's made by Cellcore.
Yeah, I had that with
If you're
me.
wondering.
Oh my God, thank goodness, because it was like the old days with the headache and the nausea. Oh my gosh.
So crazy.
I know. That's enough. We didn't really talk about this, but we left because she had gotten sunburned, and I ran out of Lavaderm from my Young Living.
Okay.
And I realized that the aloe in the stores have all kinds of chemicals and dyes.
Wow. That's another thing. Like,
So if you're going on vacation, if you're going on a vacation where you think you're going to get burned, please bring items that don't have chemicals. Like I'll never, like I ran out of the Lavaderm that had the aloe in it, because you can't get aloe without the blue dye and other crap. I went to 3 stores.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Yeah, make sure you have your products. I know it's super hard to travel, with that 3 ounce if you're flying, the 3 ounce thing, but try and put it in smaller things or whatever. But yeah. So okay, so we're moving on from the moon. That's Robin's favorite thing. When she like, if there's a moon, and now whenever I see a full moon, I think of you and I'm like, oh my gosh, has she seen this moon? It's like so huge. I'm more cognizant, I guess, of the moon.
It's beautiful. And the thing is about the
beautiful.
moon, the sun and the moon come back every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always see the moon, but it's part of God's creation.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have anxiety or you feel unnerved about something, those are very consistent. Like you can always look up and they're there, you know? And I find that so comforting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's beautiful. I love seeing the moon.
The other night it was huge over a lake, huge, and it was showing all on the lake. It was just like
that's
so
pretty.
bright and
You
shiny.
taking a picture.
I know. I thought about that, but I had Hershey outside. I didn't want to leave Hershey and go grab my phone, so I was like, I'm just taking a mental snapshot. It was gorgeous.
That's awesome. All right, so another pitfall.
Stress.
Oh, this is one.
Who doesn't have that?
I mean, stress, like I said in the beginning, stress burns through your minerals,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Especially your bees.
especially your bees.
Mhm.
So if you feel like you're stressed, we can test you.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of things are stressful, not just work,
Oh, yeah.
like doing your taxes
Mhm.
or sometimes your kids
Mhm.
or your husband or your
Right.
wife or
Any relationships, is it can be stressful.
a conflict that you have to
Oh,
resolve.
yeah. Any of those things. I mean, and there's always something. It just seems like when you clear up one thing, it just like piles on.
I
So
know. So stress is
it's
something.
hard. And I would say a lot of times that people with emotional stress, especially since I'm working on my emotion code certification. You're already certified in emotion code. I feel like a lot of times that can contribute to someone, not being able to heal. Like it's definitely a pitfall. Like they'll run into kind of a rut, like they're under constant stress and they can't seem to break
Well, I
through.
think it is a challenge. Like even if you look at me, so like I've done so much for my health,
Mhm.
and I've improved
Mhm.
so much. Like I had 56 allergies and 3
Right.
weeks of headaches and
Mhm.
all these things, and I still have far to go because
Mhm.
my sleep and my stress
It's so extreme.
is
Yeah.
so challenging.
Mhm.
And if you look at if it's like a triangle, like to work on
Mhm.
all of these things
Right.
because my food is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those other things that really
Right.
can get you.
Right. So if you haven't done emotion code, and I just did body code, can I just mention?
Yeah, tell your story.
So I came in and I was kind of a train wreck. I had fallen, or actually, I ran into a door yesterday, and then today I actually fell over my dog and fell into my weight bench. And anyway, I was pretty banged up. So by the time I got into here to record the podcast, thankfully, Robin is so gracious and so amazing. And she's like, oh no, we're prioritizing the body code. And I have to tell you, I started at, what was I at, an 8 for pain. And on my right side of my body, because that's where I fell into the weight thing and on the concrete. And then my left side was a 7. And at the end, left side, totally fine. Right side was like a 0.5. I don't even know if I should count it.
She was so relaxed. I fell asleep.
I did. I just felt that I'll leave. I even have visual images because you were talking about a meridian or something, and I have visual images that of a complete release. It was so crazy. So there are tools out there, I guess is my point, when you do hit some of these pitfalls, especially when it has to do with, stress and emotions, and that there are tools. So.
Well, if you are stressed, that's when people tend to really go off the wagon.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
You deserve to not do that. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's too much. And what I would encourage you to do is say, no, you deserve to stay on the wagon. Maybe there's ways to make things easier, but don't go back to the way you were. Don't go back to the fast food. Don't go back to whatever you're doing. And if you're stressed, maybe you still work out, but maybe you don't do something else. Or maybe you do a positive affirmation with an essential oil.
Right.
Still take some time. Try to find the ways where you can still make time for you. I made Julie do this.
She did. I never would have taken the time. I mean, I can't do body code, but I never would have taken the time or even to do emotion code. And I feel like if we go down the pitfall of stress or like overwhelm or whatever it is, we're down in that valley, and then we're just digging a hole further if we,
Well, a lot of people do it's like a tumbleweed where it gets bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah,
and bigger.
right. Yes.
So people when they fall off the wagon's a bad term, but when they're not doing what they normally do,
right,
then they just throw all caution to the wind.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And also if you didn't make choices you liked yesterday, today's a new day.
Yes.
One of my clients tested for body code. So I decided I needed pumpkin. So I made pumpkin sugar cookies. And I don't usually eat sugar.
Yeah.
I know. They were grain free, but there was still sugar in them.
Yeah.
They were so delicious. I had 5 cookies. I mean, they were not big. They were probably, I had 5 freaking cookies. Do you think I felt great? No. I was like, what did I just do to myself? And I better not go anywhere so I don't pick up any. My
Right.
immune system is down for 4 hours, down and out. I'm not going anywhere.
I don't think people realize that when sugar can decrease your immune system, like they'll have a Coke or something and they just already cut down their immune system, by a third or more, maybe a half.
For like 4 hours.
Yep.
So I know this is all thought. And I was like, oh my God, I just did that to myself.
Right.
Like that was crazy. They were super delicious.
They are. I think I've had those, but
Yeah, they're so
they
good.
are really good.
I mean,
I can understand why you have 4.
I mean, they were grain free, which is good for me, but
Yeah.
the sugar part
Right.
was not.
Right.
Anyway, anywhoosy, I'm just saying, like, these are the things you have to think about.
That's right.
Okay, so I want to just call this next one like negativity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Negativity.
Boundaries of like
Pitfall. Another
Yeah.
pitfall is negativity. So
Yeah.
it could be your spouse.
Yep.
People like, why are you spending so much time oiling, or why are you taking all those supplements and
Right.
spending all of our money seeing Robin
Yeah. Right.
or whatever? People are doubters,
Yeah.
and there could be lots of
Mhm.
reasons for that. It could be like, real concerns about money and things like that,
Mhm.
or time. It also could mean like they don't understand what you're doing, and you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
like, everybody has to handle their life their way. I'm just,
Mhm.
but you have to figure out a way to block out the negativity.
That's so
Find
true.
people that are like-minded. Find people
Yes.
if your husband's not supportive, but you are still doing it, find a friend or a practitioner that can be your coach, or,
Mhm.
find people. There's lots of
Yeah.
Facebook groups.
That's right. You're really good at finding those.
Yeah.
There are also, the negative self-talk is really bad. I mean, we're really hard on ourselves,
True.
and that can be very damaging. It can send you into a spiral.
Right. Do
sometimes.
not say I'm stupid, because your
Yeah.
cells hear you and they
do.
don't know. They can't discern truth from fake, not
Yeah.
truth.
Right.
So if you say that, they hear you.
Mhm. Go, as we always say, go look up Dr. Emoto's water experiment. And it's been scientifically proven that those thoughts, even the thoughts, and it doesn't even have to be words, can make a difference. But there's also a lot of people. Can we lump in people who are energy vampires? Does that kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a negative thing, but there are people that suck you dry. That can be hard on your system too. So be aware of those things.
Yeah. I mean, you can be protective of your energy. Like I have
Mhm.
started doing this. Like there was a really good movie premiere the other day, Protocol 7.
Oh, yeah.
It's about Merck
Mhm.
and the current lawsuit.
Mhm.
10 years it's been in 10 years. Great movie. I'm sure it was a great movie,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want to go because I didn't want to be upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know what's
Right.
happening,
Yeah.
and I feel like I need to focus on healing the people and
Right.
raising people's frequency. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I would have liked to see all the
Mhm.
people. I'm really social,
Right.
but I didn't go.
That's it. I didn't know your reason why you didn't go.
I didn't want to.
Right.
I just couldn't.
Right. Because you know what's happening. I mean, factually, you know what's
Yeah.
happening. But yeah, it's what you kind of devote your focus on. And what is that saying? Like the story about the lion and whatever, or whichever one, you feed, or the wolf,
Mm.
whichever one you feed is the one that grows.
Right. And so like there's things I can't affect. There are
Mhm.
really maddening things
Mhm.
I can't affect necessarily. I mean, you can with what you buy.
Mhm.
There are ways
Yeah.
you can affect things. But I'm just saying, like, there's some being more mad about a couple of these things is
Right.
not changing
Right.
necessarily my behavior.
Yeah.
And I need to focus on what my mission is and my
Right.
purpose, which
Right.
is helping people. And
Yeah.
so to me, that was like a derail.
Yeah.
So you can make those
That's good.
decisions, and as we get older, the gift of age,
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
that's true.
it's easier to
Yeah.
make those decisions.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
And same with people, right?
Yeah. That's right. That's really good.
Like Julie and I always want to be with each other.
Yep.
We're just like, oh my gosh, it's so good to be in the same room with you. Right?
Yeah. no matter what is going on, there are people that can increase your frequency and your energy. And that just always happens when I'm in your presence. Like it's one of those things that I look forward to. Like I crave that because a lot of times when we're out in the world, people are just, knocking down our energy field and making us feel like, "Argh."
Yeah.
So, we can't let them do that. So there are ways, there are tools, there are essential oils, but surrounding yourself with your purpose and your passion and your people.
One more thing about
Yeah.
negativity, the TV
Oh,
and social
that's huge.
media.
I cannot believe that we were, thank goodness you said that.
So also the things that you watch
Yes.
and expose your brain
Oh, good
to,
gravy.
that's
Mm.
also part of negativity.
Mhm.
And that can also affect your health because it's racing, it kind of numbs your brain in a way.
Mhm.
And
That's so true.
so there's different facets of that. One is, we are made to be creative and productive. And
Yeah.
so if you're numbing out, then you're not necessarily doing that. Right. But also it can like just detract you from and distract you
Yeah.
from whatever your goals are.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And so people don't think about that, like the news and 24/7 yelling at you or whatever.
Right.
And even the visual stimulation of that.
Yeah.
And how that affects your pineal gland. And
That is so true.
there's so many studies about the blue light and how it affects your pineal gland and all of our teens and not getting enough sleep. That's all related. It's all related. We shouldn't have those screens. You did a post about this the other day about like putting the screens down a few hours before you go to bed.
Yep.
Or like at least I try not to like use my phone. Like I try to like go from best to worst. Like
Oh yeah.
okay, like the TV
Yeah.
is probably better than the holding my phone.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
it's still not the best, but it's better.
Right. It's better. Yeah. Yeah, that is super hard. The TV is really hard. And you don't even know if you're having the TV blaring, like if you have kids or a spouse that doesn't, want to participate in that, it affects them too. Like hearing all those things, it definitely is hindering them. So.
All right. This is a controversial one.
Oh, bugger. Okay.
No, we're not going to say the word.
Oh, okay.
We can't.
Okay.
Because we don't want to get off. But
Right.
we're going to call it cupcakes.
Okay.
So something that derails people is this thing that goes in your arm, but we're going to call it a cupcake.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And so people, get their annual cupcakes. For like the flu or shingles or things like that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're sick or they have a new autoimmune disease.
Right. Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. And they're, so that is a pitfall.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to, if we are trying to get something to help us, I don't think a lot of people realize that it's the package that it comes in is just like no one would ever sign up, to
you mean reading the ingredients of the cupcake?
Yeah, exactly. Like no one ever reads ingredients. In fact, they're not even available to you, unless you go try and track them down.
It's actually on the CDC website.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But nobody does. But why would you do that?
I know. Nobody does. Okay. So just make sure that is, and contact us. If you're like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, just contact us and we'll be able to walk you through that big pitfall.
Yes. All right.
Okay. So another one is the COVID long hauler. And this is, I think a lot of people don't even realize, but that's what it is.
But some people say, I don't know, because some people say, well, I haven't felt this way since it doesn't even have to be it doesn't even have to be the COVID. It could be anything. They're like, I haven't felt like this since this happened.
Okay. Right.
It could be a cupcake.
Right.
It could be they got sick.
Yeah.
It could be they got a concussion. They fell or
right.
anything. There's
right.
millions of things.
Right.
I didn't ever since this one incident happened.
Yeah.
I have not felt right.
Right.
So that's really that's the pitfall.
Okay.
And so if you haven't felt right since you got whatever,
Yeah.
that's when you want to get muscle tested.
Yes.
And your body will reveal what
Right.
is out of balance.
Why guess at those things? Like, obviously your body is telling you something happened. Something changed. I'm not right.
Even pans and pandas,
Mm-hmm.
that's all start, those flares,
Yeah.
POTS,
Mm-hmm.
all those things, they're flares by something. Something happened in the body,
Yeah.
an inflammatory response
Right.
because of a virus, because of whatever, something, whatever,
Right.
whatever happened,
Right.
that started those symptoms.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
dormant and then it
Mhm.
started it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if that happened to you, please come see us. We would
Yes.
love to help you.
Exactly.
And there's so many, I mean, you can name anything that people, when we start muscle testing people, they're like, oh yeah, I had a concussion and,
Oh yeah.
I fell on my head and
Yes. And we have, what we have clients do is we do an initial consult and a
Mhm.
report of findings, and it's $129. And basically you have a whole symptom survey that you have to fill out. And then we do full body scan kind of, and prioritize what your body needs to work on. I mean, it is so cool and so right on. It's amazing. So anyway, that should be like the next step. Like, you're right. Something happened. A pitfall happened. Something happened. And we might not even remember that happening. Something happened and you haven't felt right.
just like when we got certified in Quantum 3 and
Mhm.
Alexia, I probably shouldn't say her name.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll edit it out. It's fine.
Okay, so the person sitting next to
Yeah.
you, she got up to get muscle tested.
Yeah.
Remember, she was in a car crash. She fell.
Yeah.
She tumbled over. Like
Yes.
all these things
Yeah.
came out
Yeah.
when she was talking.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't come out initially. It's like,
Right.
oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think us as women, like so many things happen to us that we just march on, And
Yeah, like you today.
oh yeah, just like, oh,
She didn't even tell me.
that
I mean, I
happened.
talked to her 1 minute after she hit her head yesterday, and she's like, "Hi,"
Yeah.
asked me how I am. Didn't even say one word about herself.
Yeah.
That's how she is. I have to like pull it out of her.
But it's a survival, because we know when do we don't have time to,
No.
lick our wounds and be like, wah, wah.
Right. So I sent
Yeah.
Julie this video
Mhm.
of Ethel and Lucy at the chocolate factory, if you remember, and they're like, everything's fine when the
yeah.
conveyor belt is slow,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And they're taking the chocolate and they're wrapping it.
Yeah.
Then the conveyor belt comes a little faster, and they start putting it in their mouth and like in their shirt, and it's faster, and it just becomes a hot mess.
It is such a great one. I love that one, and the smashing the grapes in the wine vat when they're like dancing around.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Lucille's yeah.
The wine.
So it's so funny. Like that's seriously our life. It really is.
This is
The
hilarious.
conveyor belt.
It's all going
Yeah.
right now. All right. So another pitfall, medication.
Mhm.
So clients, we can't diagnose or treat. We are not going to tell somebody to get off the medication.
Right.
But a pitfall in people's lives are sometimes these things that they're taking.
Yeah.
And you need to look at the side effects.
Mhm.
You can go to drugs.com and you can look up the side effects of what you're taking.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's the symptom. Sometimes the side effect is the reason why you're taking it. I mean, I've had several clients come to me with a problem.
Yeah.
And then, I couldn't find another reason. It was it was that, unfortunately. So you can work with the doctor that prescribed it to you.
Mhm.
And you can you can express your desires to wean yourself off if you like.
Mhm.
And we suggest doing that safely because,
Mhm.
you could go through withdrawal or, there's reasons why you want to work with the doctor,
Mhm.
excuse me, to do that, but you are in charge.
Yeah.
So, all the doctors really should work for you, for your body.
Yeah.
Same with us. We're like a guide,
Yeah.
but you're in charge of your body.
I don't think that thought ever dawned on me, like, until I started on this journey. I was like, wait a minute. It is my body. Wait a minute. I get to make the decisions. Like,
It doesn't feel like that, but that's true.
yeah, I gave that power over to whoever was in charge of that health. And no, and it was simply because I didn't feel like I had the knowledge base to, do anything. So that was why. Yeah.
How about one about like people not really knowing what to do? So they feel overwhelmed.
Okay. So they do nothing.
They do nothing.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you feel frazzled.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many good choices. What do I do? Like, I felt like that. Like all my healing journey, I did myself. And then like, right, like that first year of COVID-ish, I was like, I need help figuring out what my next steps are. And I knew I wanted to either go to like a functional doctor or a natural doctor. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I chose Dr. Palmer because I started following her and I was agreeing with, but that was the point. Like, and I was in there for like 6 months. Like, I was like, I knew I needed to do something.
Yeah.
Well, what do I do?
Right.
And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's when it's good to have friends or people that have similar minds, because the more that you know people that are doing those things, the better resources you have. You can ask questions like, hey, have you been in this situation? Like, I healed my PCOS myself. Like, I figured that out myself. But imagine if I knew other people and figure that out earlier. That would have been amazing.
Exactly.
So the overwhelm or not knowing what the next step is. This happens big time in like when your kid is suffering.
Oh yeah.
It's really hard. You just want that symptom to go away.
Right. Exactly.
And it's really a challenge. And there's so many choices, like I said.
Yeah. And it is really hard, especially as mamas. Like, you want to make the best decision, and sometimes that is really hard. It's like, I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I'm just not going to make any decision. And then it's
but I would say to that, that's why muscle testing again is a great idea, because it will prioritize the things to do. Right. So you're doing like 10 things for your kid. Well, what's the most important thing? And sometimes it's detoxing or rebuilding the gut before you can do these other things. Right. Some creating your mitochondria, like making sure those are good. So there's a lot of things you can get muscle tested. We can help you. Our consults are $129 right now. Right. That's a 2-session consult. So the first half is like an intake, and we muscle test you. The second half is the report of findings that you mentioned before. It's really fun. Yeah.
And sometimes if you're like, I don't know if I can, do all that, maybe I can just start the conversation. And so a lot of times just even here's a couple suggestions: getting on a Facebook and attending some classes, getting some base knowledge.
Yeah, we teach every week. We teach a class every week for free. Most of them are on Facebook. One of them is on Zoom, which is our Solving Everyday Issues class. But the rest are on our Facebook page, Wellness with Robin and Julie. They're live too. If you live in Central Florida, you can come to them. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, you could even come and get a foot detox and be like, I just want to have a conversation. Maybe I can get more information. Maybe I can, and we do foot detoxes all the time. They are amazing for you. And even when you're leading a healthy lifestyle, we live in the world, so we're getting toxins and, chemtrails and, we're still getting that stuff. So it's just great, a healthy way. And you can come to our space and see. So that's awesome too. But I wanted to mention for the muscle testing, if you're on this podcast and you're like, I can't come in person, we can do it virtually as well. Which is a great, option for people who are like, I really do want to do the muscle testing. But I can't go there. So
yeah, for sure.
Just know that you can do that virtually.
Yeah. So I hope you learn some ways to like not have the pitfalls.
Yep.
Right. And if you are a current client and you feel like that's another like maybe pitfall is if you're a current client and you're doing great, and then you're like, I've got this, maybe you need a little bit more, you know,
Mhm.
we're with you all the way. We're with you. So
Mhm.
don't give up. Like
Yeah.
sometimes people go like just slowly back.
Yeah. That's totally true. I am one of those people that I really need an accountability person. I don't do so well, like just on my own. Like I try and stay disciplined, but there's some things that, so Robin's kind of, you're my, not my discipline,
Accountability person.
accountability person, because I agree to things and then you hold me accountable or else I probably wouldn't do half of the things. And that's really important to have those
Truth.
people in our lives. And so that's why I think the membership or being a part of, at the Living Tree and doing that is you have that person holding your hand.
Yes.
They're checking in with you. Like they actually care what you ate for the week.
Yes.
And they actually care about how you feel. Most of the times, nobody in my family asks how I feel ever. So thank goodness I have Robin who's like, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Like you need those people to ask you and keep track of that.
That's great. So hopefully we can get this posted soon.
Yeah.
Because next
We will.
This Wednesday we have a class with Jonathan.
Oh yeah.
In our office at 12 o'clock.
Okay. We gotta
he picked the title Parasites and Oils.
Radiation and oils.
Oh yeah. Radiation and oils.
He can. I'm sure if we pick him another one, I'm sure he'll do.
Well, he picked it. That's just what's so cute.
It is so cute, and it wasn't like he had to think about it. It immediately came to his brain, and I love that he's starting to learn how to muscle test. I think it's like so cool. It's so great.
He was like, "Do I need a foot detox?" Yes. No.
I love it. So that's gonna be super fun because we have some really good ones coming up.
We do.
Yeah, in June. I'm super excited about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a breathing one, which is so fabulous. It's amazing how transformative something so simple and free can be. So we're doing.
We learned so much about that.
Yes,
and how cavities are even caused by the mouth breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
We have an everyday, of course, every month we have an everyday solving everyday issues with essential oils class. So
yep, that's June 17th. The breathing is June 11th.
Okay.
Summer travel is June 18th. And Are You in Pain is June 25th. That's a new class. A lot of people chalk up their pain to like genetics or old age. But you don't have to settle.
No.
So, all right. Yeah. So if you like this podcast, please share.
Yes.
And like it.
Yes, please do.
And if you want to work with us, we would love to work with you.
Yeah.
Just contact us.
Yeah.
Our website is athelivingtree.com.
Yeah. Go to our site.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And if you want to support our show, give us a 5-star rating.
To learn more about our practice, visit athelivingtree.com.